I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is FTB Genesis. Now, last episode, we were told that we need to open up this portal and, well, gain access to it so we can go to the end. This is sort of a side quest, as we definitely could probably complete the next sector, but I do want to venture into this dimension a little bit first. So, we need to do a couple of steps in order to unlock this. One being drain the wither of its farts. That's an easy task. The next one is going to also be, well, gather an IC2 material that is quite a pesky thing to get. Now, in order for me to get that pesky IC2 material, I went ahead and set up a plasma fire. Now, a plasma fire is going to end up consuming 10 UV matter, and then it will compress it down and make a plasma cell. It does, however, need quite a bit of power, so it's receiving power from my HV converter, but it's not receiving enough technically, so it does take a bit longer. Thankfully, we already do have a plasma cell that has worked its way through since me putting this machine up. But yes, this is kind of a slow process, so watching it happen is going to make it take forever, so it's definitely worth doing something else while this is in the process. Now, the pesky item that we're going to need is going to be this, the plasma core. And this is best crafted inside of a regular crafting table. I've not had luck crafting this inside of something like Applied Energistics. Even though you probably could, it'd probably be best to go ahead and craft this in a regular crafting table because it requires like multiple items, which is not a conventional way of crafting most things. So with that out of the way, because I want to get to mostly exploring today, let's also set up the wither. And I have everything I think needed prepped up to do the wither, except for the stasis chamber, which I also have crafted up. So the stasis chamber requires that pink slime, in which we did get pink slime from our bees, and so auto crafting with this is quite easy actually. So I have a stasis chamber, I also have a fluid laser drill, and well, we have a wither to take on. But there's something that I want to do first. I want to turn this area right here into the wither draining area. But I want to make sure that I'm protected and my base is protected from the wither, because I don't really want it getting loose and just destroying everything. That would be kind of sad. So what I want to do is convert a lot of these blocks and make a actual chamber here out of a special witherproof block. So if we search wither, we can see some witherproof blocks, such as these from Cyclic. Dark connected glass or just dark or tempered dark glass should be stuff that we can make. And this is going to allow us to have some wither-proof blocks. They're going to be wither blast resistant. And then to be able to summon the wither, I went ahead and grabbed this. So we actually have a wither skeleton in here, and it's set to self-aware, and it is producing wither skeleton skulls. Quite a bit of them, actually. Now, I want to test this stuff out first before dropping it into my base. So yes, there is a box behind me, believe it or not, that is a 7x7, and when we're inside this, it doesn't even appear like we're even inside of a box. But we are, and I want to go ahead and summon the wither. Now I need to make sure I'm in the middle of this box, which right here is exactly the middle. And I'm going to summon it the old-fashioned way, just like this. And I also want to make sure I have a data model on me. So let me grab that because I also want to do this, because this is actually a part of one of our quests, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and summon this, and we should be able to easily take out the wither. Let's also protect this area just to make sure that it's claimed. And so this wither shouldn't break out, but if it does, I think we can actually handle it. Okay, so it does seem like the wither is stuck in here, and we should be able to easily take it out. Okay, yeah, my hearts are not going anywhere, even though we are withered. Okay. And there it is. Vorpal at its finest. I didn't actually capture a data model, but with given how easy that was to actually fight, yeah, I could probably just easily do it again and make sure to grab the data model this time. But that's actually one of our quests. That was one of our quest lines here. So yeah, I'll go ahead and grab this. Good to know that this is the case. Now, I need to set up a very similar setup, but the wither's actually never going to finish this actual phase here. So we won't have to worry about that. Also, I wonder how well our bow does. Nowhere near as good as our sword. Our sword is dealing so much damage with that Vorpal. Oh, it was 2 Vorpals in a row. Wow. Vorpal is still one of my favorite enchants. Now, this is what we're going to use to get ether gas, which is the other thing that's required right here. It does say breaching the barrier, but I definitely recognize this texture. This right here is ether gas. To be able to get that, you need a laser drill that has a purple lens in it. And then you want to place a stasis chamber at the bottom here that is 3 blocks in between. So just like this with the stasis chamber down here, this is how you're going to achieve this. And you're going to spawn the wither right on top of the stasis chamber, which has an area that looks like so, which is also exactly 3 blocks, which is perfect for containing the wither. And so it will prevent the wither from entering its second phase, so it'll never generate its shields, and it'll just stay here forever, never moving, which is perfect. But just in case we lose power on our stasis chamber, I want to fill this bottom area in with this glass that we just tested out. And I want to just make sure that everything is good. Now, also in our quest, by the way, we should have, under the defragment, we did kill the wither. So we get a wither data model for free. So I guess we really didn't need one. And we also get a fate emerald, which we already have. And then this right here means we've mutated again. So we no longer need a hazmat suit or armor to prevent ourselves from burning in the nether. So we've now mutated and we don't have to worry about that anymore. That is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cage built out, which is an emergency cage down underneath in the center, which I think is going to be a really cool center point to this area. And then once we have some ether gas, we should be ready to go to another dimension. Now inside the fluid base, we just need our purple lens. We don't need to worry about anything else. Make sure these have power, which I have all these cards hooked up to power. And we should be ready to summon in a wither here and hope that we can get back out. I did go ahead and make a warp stone, so I should be able to just simply warp out. I do have power down here to my stasis. So all things should be good. Let's go ahead and summon in a wither. Oh boy. This is always nerve-wracking because you want to make sure that you have all of this set up properly. I'm actually stuck inside the stasis chamber. Oh boy. Everything's set up correctly, I think. Letting the nerves get to me. Okay, let's warp out. All right. So the wither should never blow up, but the wither is going to exist here. And then we just need to get power to that. And so make sure that is closed up. I'm also going to double this up a little bit. And I am going to place it over here. And we're going to have a tank in the middle, just to make sure everything is semi-safe. Let's go ahead and get power running to this, and hopefully we have plenty of power. Okay, looks like we do. And this is just these drills running at base. Okay, I can't access, for some reason, because of where the wither's at, I for some reason can't access this block to even see if we're receiving anything, which we should. Why can't I access this? I wonder if it's because I need this machine to be moved back one. I'm gonna move this machine. Oh, its head is like stuck right there where I don't need it. Huh. Okay, I removed one of the lasers temporarily just so I can access this, and make sure to set the output to push to the top. And then I should be able to place this back in, facing. Target ain't found. Now it has a target. Okay, so everything should be good, and we should be able to place our ender tank on top of here. Let's go ahead and place this, and then ender tank. It won't let me place the block where I need it because the wither's in a weird location. This is weird. Okay, so I ended up pushing this with a lever. The problem is it reset the die that was on it. So there we go. So that's what it needs to be set to. Okay, so I think that it refreshed it. I had to push it in there with a piston, which seems really odd, but hey, whatever works, right? Okay, so we got that placed in. I can now cover these corners, and we now have ether gas that is building up in here, and we can see it now. We have 140 millibuckets. And it's just a waiting game, honestly. We need a single bucket for this, but that should now build up inside of this tank. and we can use this anywhere. And now I placed a carpet on top, and so we don't have to really worry about seeing it. It's just we have this cool little centerpiece in here that is actively running, generating ether gas for us. Now I ended up setting up my screen for the breaching the barrier, and I've rotated this. So you right click that and it'll go to deposit mode. And so now it's depositing into our quest. Now there's one other thing we need, and that is going to be using our plasma cell to generate this. So I went ahead and crafted up some advanced alloy plates, more of them, and magnets. But crafting this inside the crafting grid is not going to be an easy task. You see right here, it doesn't put them in. Now we might be able to manually do this. This is where I kind of wanted to test and see if this actually works. So it's 4 per side. And notice that it doesn't actually let you craft it in here. So that's where I thought I was going to have to do this, where I'm going to need a crafting table, and we'll just use a normal crafting table. Even the crafting table and a stick might work. So let's go ahead and put this together now. We'll have 4. Actually, we might be able to just simply craft it. No, it still doesn't pull them all in. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 1, 2. And there we go. Plasma core. So yeah, it's probably best that you're going to be crafting it inside of a crafting table. So now we have that. This should be everything we need. I just need to simply submit this. So that is now submitted. And then we have the breaching the barrier, which I'm just going to simply wait for. So it looks like it is done. The breaching the barrier quest now complete. And now we should have access to the end. As soon as we click the unlock end, there we go. Now we should be able to venture on into the unknown. Literally. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting. Well, as soon as I clear things up. Yeah. So now with everything cleaned up, we should be able to take a dip now in the end portal. Oh, this is going to be interesting. All right. Without further ado, let's take a dip. Oh boy. All right, so we've made it to the end, and the end dragon is near. Oh yes, okay, so it's just a normal ender dragon. Perfect. And so taking these out should be quite easy. Yes, the fact that we can sort of glide around and our bow like just goes straight towards the object makes it so easy to just annihilate these. These, on the other hand, are a different story. But yes, it looks just like your normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill ender dragon. So that should be pretty easy to understand. Let's see, can I attack this? It'd be so cool if we just destroyed the ender dragon from without destroying these crystals. That'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? But look, we can. Oh, we do so much damage. I'm gonna grab some of this though. These orbs seem a little different. These definitely don't seem vanilla by any means. But yeah, the fact that these travel like almost instantly is kind of ridiculous. We might not even have to wait for it to land. Oh, and it's going to land though. This is where Vorpal is really going to play a powerful role though. All right, here it goes. And are we going to see Vorpal? Oh, there went a couple of Vorpals. Ooh, it looks like we definitely... It's limiting my damage for sure. But no, this thing is done. We are so powerful right now. We are so powerful. Oh, I love this. All right. Make sure our magnet's on so we can collect our goodies. And there we go. And we get ourselves a dragon's egg. Very nice. So I've definitely got to pick this up. And this does have a use for the bees. So it's definitely worth picking that up and grabbing it. And there we go. Next generation. Ooh, are these the Enderlings? What are you guys? These are cute. Cosmic Cod. They're so adorable. Okay, so we have prosperity. There's a couple of ores here. Now, On this, it says the situation is dire indeed. There seems to be no sign of the Enderlings at all. Their distress calls all seem to be automated, and we fear for the worst for their society. Oh man, the darkness still remains and the void spread through what was once a thriving subtropical paradise world. In the thread of the dragon and salvation, or salvage what you can. Okay, this battle is not just a fight for the Enderlings' legacy, but a stand against the darkness that threatens all life. Oh man, and the culmination of your journey as the architect. Oh goodness, so we get dragon egg seeds, dragon stone. So we did take them out, but we now need to go here, locate an in city. So around the primary dragon island, or the primary dragon island, there appears to be teleportation arrays. These beacons will not only provide much needed energy to transport great distances, but also serve as a lighthouse against the encroaching darkness. All right, in the future, locate one of these and throw an ender pearl into it. All right, ooh, we get an Imperium sword as a reward. That is nice. Okay, so we're gonna get an Imperium sword, and we need an ender pearl. So we're gonna toss an ender pearl into here. We need to find one of these pillars on the edge. I love how there's just like some deep story to all of this. Also, you don't have to throw an ender pearl. You can just fly right into it. So you don't have to throw an ender pearl technically, but you probably normally wouldn't have an elytra at this point. But yeah, we get access to all of this chorus fruit, which is pretty nice, even though we technically already had access to all of it. Oh boy. Yep. I think we should fly around and see if we can't potentially find ourselves an end city, which is what we're after. Now, I don't think this is an end city, but I do recognize this. This is a boss, which is kind of awesome, but I'm still looking for that city. We might come back to that. This is from the Cataclysm mod, and I did find it kind of interesting that Cataclysm is in here. Because there's no like progression line or anything leading you to do Cataclysm. But yeah, Cataclysm's here. But that could have been what led to the ultimate demise of this world without them really knowing. Perfect. We've located an in city. This is exactly what we want. Is this one though that has a ship? Oh, it does. It does have a ship. And there we go. So our quest is now complete on this front. I am going to pop down for a moment to read the quest. So it says, around the primary dragon island, there appears to be teleportation arrays. So we've already read this, but we ended up finding it. So we get ourselves quantum overclocker upgrades, an Imperium sword, and we also get a radioactive bee spawn egg. Ooh. And this leads us basically to getting the Awakened Supremium stuff, which seems pretty awesome. So Enderling's Ancient Ruins, there seems to be incredibly powerful weapons and armor fortified with Imperium. Okay. Well, we can't seem to replicate this material in our world. We can further enhance it with Supremium and awaken it further. Okay. And then also it talks about the draconic dust, which is what's actually used for productive bees to make the productive upgrades. Now, honestly, one of the big reasons why I wanted to come into this section is because of the loot. So apparently the loot is supposed to be really, really good. First of all, let's kill those guys. These are mimic cubes, and they could maybe kill me. I don't know. I'm not super scared of them right now. Mimic cubes are kind of powerful, by the way. But yes, I'm trying to figure out what the loot is, if we can get down into this area. These darn things, man. All right, let's get rid of you. That'll help out a little bit. All right, so down in here, we should be able to take them out and see what's inside these chests. All right, we definitely get an elytra. Oh, that is a lot of Imperium. Okay, reveal in death. You become immune to damage for 1 second when killing a mob. Wow, as if we're not already crazy. We also get tons of cool gear, but the fact that we get all of this Imperium gear and also Imperium is kind of powerful. I will take. Oh my gosh, nano chess piece. No way. We get nano gear that's actually charged. I mean, yeah, we may be losing our gear before you know it. Oh my goodness. So let's check the main loot areas, which we all know. These. Holy smokes. So much. It'd be so cool if it I mean, it just gives us tons of Imperium. What in the world? The loot in here is insane. We just got a legendary atomic disassembler. This is why this was worth coming here. Oh my. Yeah, there's just so much loot. I don't even know what to do with it all. This is amazing though. So yeah, that chest had a ton of stuff in it. I don't think we can break this armor down though. I don't remember. Like, I don't think we can salvage it or anything. No, but it can definitely be upgraded. Wow. Okay. So wow, this is definitely marked as one of the coolest loot pools because all of this stuff in here was gained via this. And so all of this gear has tons of different enchants on it that you could technically rip off using Industrial Foregoing. I mean, as if we're not powerful enough. We are insanely powerful. You also find tons of these trinkets. So these are really nice from the Nameless Trinkets mod. Now, even with all of that out of the way, we are still looking at finishing up this pack very soon, as I think we're getting towards the last part of it. And this is still going to require quite a bit of setup because I have everything in here except for Pur Crystals made up. Now, there is a Pur Crystal B, which is something that we'll be able to make, but we are going to need to set up this, which is an infuser. And this setup is quite tedious to do and takes quite a bit of time. Now, it does appear that inert crystals, they can actually be made inside the pressure chamber. So I'm making up some of these inert crystals, and we should be able to get into a little bit more of the elemental craft. So yes, this is going to require a bit of time, and well, thankfully for videos, you don't have to sit and watch through it. Now, one of the things I'm definitely going to need to do is make sure that I have these going into elemental containers and making sure they're extracting, because I don't have access as of right now to better versions of this. So yes, this is what an improved elemental extractor looks like, but it requires a Pur Crystal, which is what we're going to need in order to make this in the first place. So I'm going to need all of these elements filled up, and I'm going to need an elemental container with quite a bit in it, in order to actually do this. Now, the quest to make this super simple. So now that we have everything ready to go, I should be able to make this thing, the strongly contained crystal. So with a strongly contained crystal, this should give us access to all the pedestals, basically bypassing what I think is incredibly tedious about elemental craft. So we get some of these items, which is really nice. But this right here, we just need to take this and we need to craft the Pur Infuser. And that's basically it. And we are going to, with that Pur Infuser, we should get something in return. This is going to be pretty cool. So let me show you. This right here will make the Pur Infuser, and that gives us access to these pedestals. And I will say these pedestals are the way you make this, but these normally require you to go through gem crafting. And that is what is super tedious, in my opinion, in elemental craft. Thankfully, we get to sort of bypass all of that. The only thing we need is a high amount of this elemental craft essence, world essence. Yeah. Now I want to get an area set up for this and get it kind of prepped up and ready to go. And then we're going to jump back into crafting up that gear that we just got in the end. So yes, I want this running, and I wanted to make sure to get that all capped up so that way we have this prepped up and ready to go. Now, to set up the actual infuser itself, we're going to place this down, and we actually get to see an outline of this. And this is where placement really doesn't matter all that much, so long as you actively are placing them and you know what element is what, because you're going to need to know that later on down the road when you actually go to craft this. But really, this is all you need to get the infusion started. This, and you're also going to need some improved elemental pipes. And then we're going to take those elemental containers that we have filling up, and we need to make sure those are basically full, and then we'll put them in here, and that will jumpstart the craft. But we'll worry about that next episode. For now, let's go ahead and craft up that Supremium gear. Now, I just did a lot of crafting and a lot of testing, and I will tell you that as of the current state of the update that I am in, well, I don't see the Supremium armor being the Supremium gear that we would hope for, giving us creative flight. Because at my current stage, after crafting all kinds of stuff, well, it doesn't seem like I can get a hold of Solium. Solium dust is going to take way too much time, I think, if I'm trying to get it normally. I just don't have the setups for it. This stuff right here, the way that I guess you would obtain it is, which is used, by the way, for the tinkering table to upgrade your Supremium gear. The way you would normally obtain it is through the world. You can find it in ore form. I have not found it in ore form. The bee requires you to already have Solium, and the seed requires you to already have Solium. But the only way to get it would be the Solium ore and using the orchid. And I did craft the orchid, and I did set it up. It takes a ton of mana in order to produce this, and it has to be in the nether to be able to run. And it's only a 2% chance. One of every 38 processes it would need. And every process it uses about a 1/16 of a mana pool. So that is something to keep in mind. It takes a lot of mana. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with my current gear. As much as I would love creative flight, we really don't need it at this point. And you know what? There are better alternatives to creative flight. Believe it or not, we can actually either use glistening chorus fruit, which is not too difficult for us to make, which gives us 2 minutes of creative flight. We could also make a flight potion. So yes, we have the ability from Cyclic to also make a potion. When all we need is insta health, and the potion we can put inside of a charm, and that would give us an extended amount of creative flight. So yeah, just like this, I have glistening chorus fruit, and every time I consume this, I get a minute worth of flight. And if I eat more of it, it just continues to add up. So yeah, we technically do have creative flight. Now, I thought I was going to be going through gear crafting, but we might actually be able to finish up this particular section here and get ourselves one of the Pur Crystals. Now I've been waiting for this, but I had a lot of time while crafting everything to sort of prep myself for this. So we should be able to head over here and see if our containers are slightly filled. This one is completely full. So if this one is full, which was empty, we should be able to easily now craft up one of those Pur Crystals. Now for each of these tables, make sure that the corresponding element is here. So for example, if I'm going to be placing air, I'm going to place the air container next to this one, and then the earth needs to go here. And then this is, oh wait, that's water. I always get that one confused. This is the water one. This one is the earth. And then this is the fire. And then what we're going to want to do is open the valves, but I want to go ahead and get the item in here that we're going to be crafting, right? So this is all we really need, is this one Pur Crystal in order to initiate the final part. And this is going to require a crystal from all the different types. And I think I have one of each, and those crystals will need to go on here. There we go. And these were also given in the quest. So all we need is these. Let's go ahead and see real quick. There's the Pur, and then a diamond in the center. And it should craft. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's get a diamond, and we will also finish this up. Oh man. Also talking to Sareth, who makes the mod pack, and it does appear like there's going to be an easier recipe to get Solium. So that will be hopefully sort of figured out later on. Also, this is going to end up getting removed as well, I believe, and just given as that reward for the end game, and that is the field projector. I still feel like though, if you go ahead and upgrade all of your gear, you're not even going to need this field projector. You're going to be basically invincible anyways, just upgrading your gear like we did. So let's go ahead and put all of this together. So we need water. We'll place that on the pedestal, and then we'll place down the earth crystal here. the fire crystal here, and then the air crystal here. And then we just need to turn it on. And let's go ahead and place the diamond in the center. Now, we need to click on these to make sure this feeds all of the elements. Like that. And that should start to feed the elements into the pedestals, I believe. Let's go ahead and try this maybe. Oh, there we go. So I had to right click. Okay, so it's going to draw it just like that. Perfect. And this should make the pure. It is kind of an interesting operation here. But normally this would take forever because you'd have to farm these pedestals. These are, yeah, the pedestals take forever to farm up normally. This process also takes a little bit of time, but there we go. Now we have our Pur Crystal. Oh, man. And that is the primal complete. And we get 2 more free. Ooh, and we get a choice reward here. Man, what are the 2 that we use the most? Definitely water. I'm actually going to take these. And on this one, we do air. So air and water are the ones that we use literally the most. So I'm going to take both of them, even though I'm not going to use them most likely. But you could use them for setting up the automation, and it'll basically places in the actual node right where you want it, which is pretty crazy. So next episode, we are definitely going to be completing that last sector, or so I hope. I hope that we are geared up enough to be able to handle this. It's going to take a lot, but we should be able to save Elyria. I'm pretty excited for this. Now, if you enjoyed, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a huge thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me. Also, comment down below. What do you think of the end? What do you think of this pack so far? I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. And well, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks is going to go to MSH Neon. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting in one of the best ways possible. Guys, I thank you so very much for watching. And as always, I'll say it again. Thanks for watching. Bye.